Imagine a single brilliant spark in the vast darkness of the cosmos, a flash of pure genius. But what happens next? Does it fade away, or does it ignite a chain reaction that lights up the world? We often celebrate the lone inventor, but the true power of an idea lies in what happens after it's born. The real story of progress isn't invention, it's diffusion, spreading that spark until it becomes a roaring fire. Diffusion means getting new tools and ideas into the hands of millions, transforming clever gadgets into forces that reshape economies and societies. A blueprint for a starship is just potential. A fleet exploring the galaxy is the result of diffusion. The nation that builds, trains, and organizes, not just invents, will reach the stars. Winners in history aren't always the first to invent, but those who spread ideas best. This principle has shaped every era, from sharpened stones to artificial intelligence. Today, the real challenge is not just to create AI, but to spread its power throughout society. The race is on, not just to invent the future, but to deliver it to everyone. What turns a simple invention into a world-changing force? Scholars call it the diffusion advantage. A nation's true strength comes from its ability to adopt and integrate new technologies across its entire economy. It's not about locking breakthroughs in labs, but letting them flow through every business and workshop. We often count patents and prizes, but these only measure sparks, not the spread of fire. A country can lead in patents yet lag if its industries use outdated tools. The real power lies in a broad base of skilled people who can apply, maintain, and improve new technologies. The diffusion advantage is built on people and institutions, education, infrastructure, and programs that bridge innovation to the wider community. It's less glamorous than a single breakthrough, but far more powerful. A nation that builds these pathways will outpace one that simply creates isolated sparks. The heart of global power is not invention, but the ability to spread and use new ideas. That's what shapes prosperity and strength. History shows us the power of diffusion in action. Britain's dominance in the Industrial Revolution came not just from inventing the steam engine, but from spreading it nationwide. Mechanics institutes and technical education created a skilled workforce that put steam engines everywhere, making Britain the workshop of the world. The US and Germany rose by mastering the diffusion of electricity and mass production, not by inventing them. America's land-grant universities churned out engineers, doubling industrial power per worker compared to Britain. Japan's post-war miracle was built on its ability to diffuse and improve foreign technologies, not just invent them. Training and continuous improvement made every worker part of the innovation process. But when Japan's diffusion plateaued, its growth slowed. It struggled to adapt to the next wave of innovation. The lesson diffusion advantage must be constantly renewed. The nations that build the best systems for spreading new tools lead. Those who rest on past achievements fall behind. Progress belongs to the best learners and adapters. The Soviet Union is a dramatic example of failed diffusion. Despite massive investment in research and a flood of scientists, the USSR's breakthroughs rarely reached its broader economy. The system excelled at big state-driven projects like Sputnik, but struggled to spread everyday improvements. Factory managers had little incentive to adopt new methods. Failure was risky, so most stuck to the old ways. Advanced military tech paraded in Moscow, while civilian industries languished with outdated tools. A 1969 CIA report concluded the USSR's overall technology lagged behind the West. Productivity stagnated, and the economy ground to a halt. The fire of innovation burned in isolated pockets but never spread. The Soviet Union didn't collapse for lack of genius, but for failing to connect that genius to daily life. It's a powerful lesson. National strength is not what you invent, but what you can actually do. Diffusion is the difference between fleeting brilliance and lasting power. Without it, even the brightest sparks fade. The secret to a nation's diffusion advantage is education and skills. It's not just elite universities, it's technical literacy across the whole population. Economic performance is tied more to investment in training and education than to research spending or patent counts. New technology is useless without people who can implement, adapt, and maintain it. Technicians and skilled workers are the engine of diffusion. Over 90% of productivity growth in advanced economies comes from adopting and adapting existing knowledge, not inventing from scratch. The smartest investment is in human capital community colleges, vocational schools, apprenticeships, and lifelong learning. Building deep reservoirs of talent fuels the diffusion engine. When the next spark arrives, these countries are ready to turn it into a blazing fire of progress. Education is the foundation of national strength. We're at the dawn of the AI age, and the real competition is between the US and China. The winner won't be the nation with the most advanced AI, but the one that spreads it most effectively. The US has a diffusion advantage, strong digital infrastructure, quick adoption by businesses, and universities deeply connected to industry. In 2021, the US had over 5 times more universities with active AI programs than China. This produces a workforce skilled in both creating and applying AI. China, despite headline successes, struggles with a diffusion deficit, technological islands disconnected from the broader economy. The race isn't over. China is working to bridge the gap, but the real measure of power is empowering everyone, from farmers to doctors to small business owners, with AI tools. The nation that wins this quiet, widespread revolution will truly lead the 21st century. Diffusion, not invention, will decide the future. If diffusion is the secret to national strength, how do you build it? It's not just about funding research labs, it's about constructing the pathways for innovation to reach everyone. The first pillar is human capital accessible education, community colleges, and technical schools that provide practical skills. Programs that help small businesses adopt new technologies are crucial. They translate innovation into real-world value. The second pillar is infrastructure, high-speed internet, reliable energy, and computing power. Without these, even the best technology can't reach rural areas or small businesses. The third pillar is strong institutions that foster collaboration, breaking down walls between academia, industry, and government. Policies that encourage open-source technology and worker involvement speed up diffusion and make adoption smoother. Building these bridges is a generational task, but it's the only way to create a resilient, innovative society. The infrastructure of diffusion is the foundation of national genius. It's how invention becomes shared progress. The most powerful forces aren't isolated events, but those that permeate everything. Like gravity shaping galaxies, the enduring power that shapes civilizations comes from the widespread diffusion of ideas. The key lesson: move beyond the obsession with being first, and focus on being the most skilled, connected, and adaptable. National leadership means building engines for spreading new tools and capabilities to all people. Invest in schools, training, digital networks, and institutions that connect research to reality. Empowering the many, not just the few, is the real path to strength. The technician who installs a robot is as vital as the scientist who designs it. True technological supremacy is a fabric woven from millions of skilled hands. The real secret to global strength is unleashing knowledge, not hoarding it. To lead is to teach, empower, and share, the ultimate strategy for building the future.